The movie I decided to do for my religion and film project was called Man on Fire. Now, it's about an ex-military man named John Creasy who was down in the dumps, he's lost all meaning in his life, and he's turned to alcohol. Now, he meets with an old friend who tells him he should get into the bodyguard business down in Mexico, as bodyguards are in dire need due to a recent influx of kidnappings of young children. So a family hired Creasy to guard their young daughter Peta. At first, he's there just as a bodyguard, but as he spends more time with young Peta, he develops a friendship with her and eventually becomes a mentor, a swim coach, and even a father figure who tucks her in at night. Now, after a piano lesson one day, Peta's kidnapped and Creasy's shot. But once he exits the hospital, he vows to Peta's mother that he will find everybody involved and make them pay for what they have done. After his long, drawn-out killing spree, Creasy is able to locate Peta, but the kidnappers say that he must surrender his life to them in order for them to give Peta back. So they go into an open field, and Peta is returned to her mother, but Creasy surrenders himself to the kidnappers, where he later dies peacefully due to a gunshot wound he received earlier in the day in a shootout. Now, this movie did a great job of showing two religious topics that we talked about in class. First was William James's idea of a volitional conversion, and second was the concept of soteriology. So first, like I said, Creasy was an alcoholic. He really had lost all meaning in his life, and he just drank a lot. But as he spent that time with Peta, he really got to thinking that he probably shouldn't be drinking the alcohol. And over time, he drank less and less until one day he went to take a sip and put it down, without taking a sip, put it down and grabbed his journal. And from that point on, we don't see him drink again. Now, it was a volitional conversion because it was a gradual and conscious conversion. And although it wasn't religious, it was his personal conversion. And you can see the fruits of his conversion once he's done drinking, because he goes from an emotionless character to a character full of emotion, and he's more clear-headed, and he thinks with a clearer mind. So I think that this really showed a conversion in a great way. Now, second is the concept of soteriology. So throughout the movie, we see instances of religion pop up, like when Creasy drops Peta off at school. A sister there asks him a Bible verse, and he recites it, but then he says he's the lost sheep because he's really lost all meaning in his life. Then at other points, he asks his friend if God will forgive him for what he's done in the past. And also, he tells other people that the forgiveness for the criminals will be between them and God, but he's just there to arrange the meeting, meaning he's going to go and kill everybody involved. Finally, when he's torturing a criminal, he says, "Okay, my friend, it's off to the next life for you. I guarantee you won't be lonely." Now, we assume that this means that these criminals are going to hell and that they won't be alone because there were many involved in the kidnapping scandal. Now, last, when he finally reunites with Peta, he says, "I'm going home too," which one can only assume that means he's going to heaven. So I think this one part of the movie specifically shows a soteriology, because at this point, Creasy has already been shot, and he knows he's going to die. So he doesn't really have anything else left to do, and he feels that helpless feeling that the way of faith through grace, way of grace through faith, way of soteriology says that the person kind of feels helpless and really there's nothing left to do but just to leave it up to God. So he thinks that, and as an audience member, I agree that he will be going to heaven for the good he has done in his life to reunite young Peta and to save her life. Although he did commit crimes along the way, one can say that they were justified in finding the young Peta and killing all the corrupt men in Mexico. Now, I think this movie isn't a critique of any sort of religion, but it really drills home the volitional conversion presented by William James and the concept of soteriology. So I think that this movie, although it's not, like I said, we don't have to critique anything and it doesn't resolve anything, I think it's a very good movie if you are looking at a conversion or if you are looking at soteriology. So I think that that's what makes this movie a great movie to consider if a religion and film class ever does come up in the future. Thank you.